Nothing that we go through actually catches God by surprise. God is aware. And if God permitted it to happen, know that there is a reason why. Know that there is a purpose why God allowed whatever it is that you are currently going through. There is always a purpose in everything a believer goes through. God doesn't just allow us go through things to punish us, to make us feel sad or make us suffer or just for the pleasure of it. No. Good God, oh, you be good God. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, a very, very warm welcome to you. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with us a few things that God taught me during a very difficult season in my life, during a season of long suffering. In fact, one of the worst seasons of my entire life. However, there were a few things I believe God revealed to me during that season that helped me go through that season well. It helped me endure whatever it is I was going through then. So I just thought, why not come on here and share those lessons and share those things with you all, as I believe it would be a blessing to you, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that are currently going through a tough time, going through a difficult season, going through a valley season, and it can be hard to quite navigate those seasons. So I just thought, why not come on here and share my experiences and my lessons with you all to help you on your own journey as well. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So the first thing I believe God taught me in that season was that His presence is always with me. If there's one thing that happens when you're going through a difficult season, when you're going through a tough time, is that God's presence can sometimes seem so far away. It seems like God has abandoned you. It seems like God has just thrown you to the corner, thrown you to the curb, just allowed you to suffer in this season of your life. I actually felt that way. I'm not going to lie. I felt that God had abandoned me in my season of suffering, in my season of going through the valley. I felt like God had just left me all to myself. So one of the things that God started to make me understand, started to reveal to me, is that His presence is always with me. We might not always feel the tangible presence of God. We might not always have those supernatural encounters with God, but the fact still remains, the truth still remains, that God's presence is always with us. God has said in His word that He would never leave us, He would never forsake us. So even though you cannot feel His presence, even though He might seem so silent, He might seem so quiet in your current season, know that His presence is always with you. His presence is there with you in the valley, is there with you in the trenches. He would never abandon you. He would never leave you. And sometimes the enemy would come and mess with your mind, lie to you that God has just left you all to yourself. God has abandoned you. God has forsaken you. God doesn't care about you. God doesn't love you. And that messes with you, especially if you're already down, because you are susceptible to those lies. You are vulnerable at that moment. So I'm hoping that this would also help you if you're currently feeling that way. If you're currently in the season where you feel like God has abandoned you, please know that His presence is always with you, no matter what you go through. And then the next thing God taught me in this season of difficulty is patience. Yes. Excuse me, God really taught me how to be patient. I mean, none of us like to be patient. When we are going through a difficult season, our prayer is that God will bring us out of that season with immediate effect, that God will take us out of that season ASAP. But if you know God, there's one thing God is going to do. God is going to show you how to be patient in a waiting season, in a difficult season. And that is one thing God taught me, because my prayer was, God, please, I don't want to be here. I don't want to go through this. Please take me out of this season. I was getting so impatient in my current season. So I was praying that God would take me out. God would take me out. God would change my season. God would change my season. But God really didn't until He was ready. God really didn't change my season until you felt like, okay, now is the time to bring me out of that season. So God really taught me how to be patient, how to trust Him in the process. So God will not necessarily bring us out of it, but God would help us go through whatever it is that we are currently in. So I learned patience, albeit the hard way. I literally learned patience the hard way. God taught me how to wait well on Him. Because it's one thing to wait, it's another thing to wait well. You can wait from the wrong place. You can wait and your heart is not in the right place. You can wait from a place of bitterness. You can wait from a place of worry and anxiety. You can wait from a place of unsettlement, or you can wait with joy in your heart. You can wait with peace in your heart. You can wait with love in your heart, right? That is how to wait well. So it's not just about waiting on God. You hear a lot of people say, oh, I'm waiting, but they are waiting on patiently. But God wants us to wait on Him patiently and wait the right way. And if you wait the right way, it helps you to go through whatever it is you are going through well. But if you are waiting and you rather not be there, then it might sort of, what's the word? What's the English I'm looking for? It might extend your waiting season. It might extend your current season that you are going through. So one lesson God taught me is to be patient. And then another thing God taught me in my season of long suffering was that nothing happens in our life that takes God by surprise. Let's touch on this one, because this one really hits me deeply when God revealed it to me. That nothing happens in the life of the believer that God is not aware of. Nothing takes Him by surprise. One of the many questions I had in that season of long suffering I experienced recently was that, God, are you aware that I am going through this? Are you aware that this is happening to me? Are you aware that I'm in this valley? Like, are you actually aware that your daughter is going through what she's going through? Oh my God. And one of the things God told me was nothing takes Him by surprise. It can take us by surprise. It might take us by surprise, right? But nothing takes God by surprise. Everything that we go through as children of God, God is aware of it. So God either has to allow it, so permit it, or block it, deny it. So no matter what the devil throws at us, because we know the devil is a wicked devil, right? Nothing good comes from him. So anything we go through that is bad is from him. So sometimes you might be wondering, God, how far? Are you aware this is happening? The answer is yes. So God either has to allow it or deny it. And we can see that in the life of Job. We see that the enemy did not just go and attack Job. No, he had to take permission from God. He had to bring that request to God. And God was like, okay, yeah, touch him here, touch him there. Do not touch him here, do not touch him there. So God allowed that affliction that Job was going through. And Job will be wondering, like, God, how far? Like, do you know that your son is going through this? But God actually permitted it. Right, we're not going to go into the detail of why bad things happen to good people or why God permits certain things. I think I even filmed a video on like why we go through suffering, why we go through difficult season. So if you want more in-depth revelation on that, then maybe check out that video. I'll link it in the description box. But yeah, sometimes God allows certain things to us for different reasons and different purposes, which I shared in that video. So one of the things God revealed to me was that nothing takes him by surprise. Nothing that we go through actually catches God by surprise. God is aware. And if God permitted it to happen, know that there is a reason why. Know that there is a purpose why God allowed whatever it is that you are currently going through. There is a reason why God allowed me go through whatever I went through. There is a reason. There is always a purpose in everything a believer goes through. God doesn't just allow us go through things to punish us, to make us feel sad or make us suffer or just for the pleasure of it. No. There is always a reason and there is always a purpose, and that is something God was ringing in my head and reminding me of when I was going through the trenches, when I was going through some difficulty, when I was going through some when I was going through it, basically. These were the things God was revealing to me, that I am here with you. I'm going to teach you patience in this season, and nothing happens to you that takes me by surprise. It might have taken you by surprise, but it didn't take God by surprise. So I just thought to come on here and share this revelation with you all in the hopes that it would also encourage you if you are currently in this season of waiting, if you are currently in a season where you are going through the trenches, you're going through some difficult situations. I want you to know that God is there with you, and God would use this season to teach you patience, and also know that nothing happens in your life as a believer that God is not aware of, and He would give you the strength to go through it. God will literally hold your hands. He won't take you out of the fire, but He will even hold your hands in the fire. I'm just reminded of the 3 Hebrew boys as well. God would have stopped the king from actually throwing them into the fire, but He didn't. He threw them into the fire, but then God was with them inside the fire. I'm sure you'll be thinking that, God, is it not better for me not to even go through it than for you to be with me in the fire? Is it not much hassle to you to be with me in there than for me not to go through it at all? Well, sometimes the things that God does will not always make sense to our logic. It will not make sense to our own human mind. Even in the lion's den, God could have stopped the king from throwing Daniel into the den, but no, He didn't. Instead, He shut the lion's mouth. So God will not take you out of the situation, but He would help you inside that difficult situation. That is our God for you. And I love Him like that, even though sometimes it's not as easy, but yeah. You just have to come to know the nature of God and come to understand how God works, right? Come to understand the ways that God works, and that helps you in your relationship with Him. Because if you're always praying that, God, I don't want to go through any difficult situation, God, don't bring anything that I don't like my way, God, you'll be disappointed so many times. But if you've come to know that no matter what comes my way, God is going to help me go through it, it just helps you. It makes it a bit easier. Not easy, because difficult seasons are never easy, but it makes it a bit easier to go through, a bit easier to endure and to bear, because you know that God is in it with you, and God will give you the strength, the grace that you need to persevere through that season. So I hope this has been a blessing to you all. These are a few things that God revealed to me. I'm sure there are more things, but these are like the top 3 things that God revealed to me. So I hope it's been a blessing to you, and I hope it also encourages you on your journey when you find yourself going through a difficult season, because we would all go through a difficult season. If you've not been, you will go through. If you've been already, you might potentially go through another one. It's not a curse. It's not a prophecy. It's just what the Word of God has said, that we would all go through these seasons of life, but we just have to be prepared for it. So yeah, that's all I have for you in today's video. I hope it's been a blessing to you. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. It really does help my content. Also, leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know, what lessons have you learned? What has God revealed to you during your difficult seasons, during the trenches, during your waiting season? What revelation has God helped you have to endure those seasons, to help you wait well on Him and help you go through whatever it is the enemy sends your way? Please share in the comment section. I will be learning, and as many people that read your comments as well, I'm sure they will find value and insight in your comments. And I'll catch you all in my next one. Bye.